Cybersecurity certifications are popping up everywhere, especially with the emergence of the new HackTheBox Junior Cybersecurity Associate. Also, we've seen TryHackMe, PT1. So if you're trying to break into the industry, the path you choose can make or break your momentum. Some programs teach you how to hack, hands-on, real-world stuff. Other certifications are just ticket passes for HR and recruiters built to get your resume seen. So in this video, I will compare the most talked about cybersecurity certifications of 2025. And we're going to compare the security certifications from hands-on standing point and from an HR standing point. So first, HackTheBox Certified Junior Cybersecurity Associate is designed for individuals seeking a broad range of junior cybersecurity roles. You will see that the curriculum covers both domains, the offensive side and the defensive side, which is actually very unique among the other cybersecurity certifications, making this cert suitable for aspiring cybersecurity analysts, among other roles, network security administrators, and entry-level red or blue team members. So it's a hybrid cert between blue and red team. Basically provides a foundational understanding across multiple domains. That's what we can say about HackTheBox Junior Cybersecurity Associate. Now, moving on to the exam assesses foundational technical competency. Now, the exam, as stated in the official page, it focuses on simulating a gray box penetration test, which means you will be doing offensive security activities or examinations and defensive security. So basically, you will perform SIEM alert validation and analysis, which falls under defensive security, and you will also be provided with a letter of engagement. So basically, you'll also perform penetration testing activities. All of this fall under a cybersecurity assessment. So basically, you will conduct a comprehensive cybersecurity assessment both from defensive and offensive domains. And you will be connected to the environment using a VPN, and you will also face off with a real-world corporate network hosted within the HackTheBox infrastructure. Now, the domains of the certificate, on which basically also the curriculum revolves around, we have pen testing processes and methodologies, information gathering, attacking Windows. You see a lot of domains that fall within or fall under the offensive security. And then you will see domains that fall under defensive security, such as network traffic analysis, SOC processes and methodologies, security monitoring, log analysis, intrusion detection, and SIEM-based assisted log analysis. Let's remember that the certification costs around $490 without a subscription. That's the net cost without a subscription. Of course, if you subscribe to the modules, it will be less than $490. Now, at the end, should you take this certificate or should you sit for the exam or not? That basically depends on where you are in your career. This path is recommended for those transitioning into the domain of cybersecurity. By acquiring knowledge from both domains, offensive and defensive, in a practical fashion, you will be qualified to continue further and seek opportunities, whether in the blue team or the red team domains. So basically, if you are transitioning into pen testing or blue teaming, this cert is for you. If you are a recent graduate, you may start with this. However, due to the fact that this program is new, this means that HR may not be up to date. So basically, they may not recognize this certificate yet. Because you remember that the market is very crowded, very saturated with certifications coming out not every day, every once in a while we see new cert, and basically HR has to catch up with all of these programs. It takes time. The PT1 is ideal for individuals who want to move into red teaming or penetration testing. So it is designed for those who are getting started in the offensive security, okay, or the red teaming. So here, if you click on this question here, does this or are there any prerequisites? You see, this is an entry-level exam. So that's why it's considered for beginners who are getting started in offensive security. It actually gives a realistic glimpse into what the actual job entails by simulating full engagements, including vulnerability exploitation, lateral movement, and report writing. However, despite the fact that the PT1 is designed for juniors, okay, it still requires you to invest time, effort, and critical thinking in order to acquire the real applicable skills out of the exam. It demands actually candidates to show they can analyze environments, document findings, and manage real-world scenarios. So it is much more than a theoretical simulation or theoretical test. It is actually job simulation. You will develop real-world skills after getting certified. Or if you enroll in the course and get certified, you will have real world skills on penetration testing, ethical hacking, and of course, the job required skills. TryHackMe PT1 consists, or the exam of TryHackMe PT1 consists of three parts. First, we have the web exploitation. Next, we have the network exploitation. And last, we have the Active Directory exploitation. At the end of the exam, you will be required to write a professional report noting all the findings you have discovered along with the CVSS scores of the vulnerabilities you have uncovered. Remember that in PT1, the exam is designed to simulate a real world engagement. Okay, it is not focused on popping shells or retrieving flags. The web application penetration testing domain occupies 40% of the exam's weight. And next we have the network penetration testing occupies 36%. And last we have the AD attacks or the Active Directory attacks occupies 24%. The exam is 48 hours, including the report writing. Includes one free retake and 3 months of TryHackMe premium access. The exam costs $297, which is a cost similar to the cost of TCM PNPT or EGPT, which was priced around $249 if I remember correctly. Currently, TryHackMe's PT1 certification is not explicitly mentioned in LinkedIn job postings. So it's still gaining, because it's new, so it needs some time. PT1 is emerging as a valuable certification for newcomers to cybersecurity, but it has yet to become a standard requirement in job listings. That is never far from truth. Okay, now and then let's compare cybersecurity certifications from an offensive and defensive standing points. Let's say basically you are focusing on hands-on certifications. You don't care about HR. You care much more about gaining hands-on knowledge. So how to get started? So first, in the defensive path, okay, and in the offensive path, now with the new HackTheBox certification, hands-on cybersecurity associate, you could get started either both in defensive or offensive path with this cert. Why? Because as we said earlier, this cert or the program of this cert combines both knowledge in a practical, hands-on fashion. Okay, let's continue now with offensive path. Now, after HackTheBox Cybersecurity Associate, we've got three certifications that are on the offensive side and they are considered hands-on. We have EGPT and PNPT, and lastly PT1. PT1 is from TryHackMe. PNPT is from TCM Security, and EGPT is from INE. I believe these three certifications, they are similar in scope and difficulty level. There might be some slight differences, at least that's my perspective. Now, after you got one of these, it's time now, and I think you are prepared to seek one of these certifications. First, we have the popular Offensive Security Certified Professional. You could also seek CPTS from HackTheBox or CRTP, Certified Red Team Professional from Alter Security. One of these certifications, I believe the most difficult of these, it could be arguably CPTS or OSCP. And then we've got CRTP. And at the end, if you want to seek further knowledge, hands-on knowledge, you could attempt CRTE, Certified Red Team Expert. That path actually comes right after CRTP. That's why if you are preparing for CRTE, you should at least have CRTP, because CRTE, the exam of CRTE is actually 75% or maybe 65% of the contents come from CRTP. Now, what about PSCP, Perp Suite Certified Practitioner? So basically, I put this here on level 4 for a reason, because it's a very specialized certification. It's for those who are seeking to prove they've got deep hands-on knowledge in web application security. And with this certification, you can also prove that you can hunt for bugs or web bugs. So basically, that's why I put this on level 4, because it's very specialized and it's very difficult. Okay, now let's talk about defensive path. So again, with defensive path, you could start with HackTheBox Certified Cybersecurity Associate and then move on to one of these three. So THM SAL1 is also recent certification. It is hands-on certification for those who are seeking blue team roles. And we also got CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst and Blue Team Level 1. These two certifications prepare you for a job in blue teaming. It gives you what it takes to have practical knowledge in blue teaming. Once you've got one of these, you can move on to BTL2. BTL2 is very recommended if you already have BTL1. If you already have BTL1, there is no need to seek THM SAL1 and CompTIA Cybersecurity Analyst, because 70% they are the same. You can attempt BTL2 because they are from the same provider and the contents overlap a lot. On the same level of BTL2, we've got CDSA and we've got CCSP. CCSP, of particular mention, it is for those who are seeking to gain hands-on knowledge in cloud security, AWS, Google Cloud, so on and so forth. So if you're seeking to improve your practical hands-on knowledge in cloud security, you could attempt CCSP. Otherwise, you could seek CDSA or BTL2 on this level. Okay, now let's talk about the path from an HR perspective. It doesn't matter, offensive or defensive. Immediately prepare for CompTIA Security Plus because it is the gold standard. Recognized by HR, it's recognized everywhere, DoD, wherever you go. CompTIA Security Plus is the first certification recommended for newcomers in cybersecurity. With CompTIA Security Plus, you could immediately get a junior role in cybersecurity. All right, now you want to specialize in offensive or defensive, but you want to be seen immediately by HR. So in offensive security, you could attempt CH. I know CH might not be popular among those who already have OSCP, CPTS, or CRTP, but it is what it is. CH is still recognized by HR and recruiters. So CH, go also OSCP, CPTS, and CRTP. These certifications stand out among HR and recruiters. Of the greatest recognition is OSCP, of course. If you got OSCP, it doesn't matter what else you got. Now, then you could specialize and prove that you have hands-on knowledge in real-world networks with CRT, because CRT is an exam where you tackle actually real-world Active Directory networks. Okay, so it proves that you've got real-world knowledge. Now let's go talk about the defensive aspect of cybersecurity. Again, start with CompTIA Security Plus. Then you could move on to CISA Plus from CompTIA, especially if you got already CompTIA Security Plus, you could attempt CISA Plus, or if you want to change providers, you could go to BTL1. Now, BTL1 might be more practical than CISA Plus, especially when it comes to proving that we've got hands-on knowledge in security monitoring, SIEM solutions, and so on. CISA Plus, most of it has got scenario-based questions, performance-based questions, but big part of CompTIA CISA Plus is theoretical. However, it is seen and very well recognized by HR and recruiters. It is what it is. Next, on level 3, move on to one of these three. So we've got CISSP, CompTIA CAPS, and CCSP. Now, CISSP, Certified Information System Security Professional, and CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. It's actually not CAPS, it's CASP, so it changes to CASP. Now, both of these certifications, they're also seen as managerial certifications, meaning that if you got enough practical knowledge in defensive security or even in offensive security and you want a managerial position, you could seek CISSP and CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. These certifications are theoretical. They are not practical, okay? You're gonna have a lot of questions to answer, and at the end, it's theoretical exam, but they have actually, there is a real heavy weight to these two certifications, CISSP and CompTIA CASP. There also, I forgot another one, it is CISM. Okay, now why I'm putting these under defensive? Because most of those who hold these certifications, at least the ones I met, they come from defensive background. Okay, now again, if you have started your career in offensive security, you've got CompTIA Security Plus and then got OSCP, still if you want to seek manager position, you could also attempt CISP or CompTIA CASP. Now about the certified, this one CCSP. So basically, this is for also those who seek to prove they have got hands-on knowledge in cloud security and still be seen by HR and recruiters. So it is cloud security professionals. That's a breakdown of cybersecurity certifications, both from hands-on perspective and HR perspective. They may overlap. Okay, sometimes you could see certifications such as OSCP, okay, CPTS, CRTP, CRTE, and these certifications are hands-on and they're also seen by HRs. Also, we got BTL1, somehow CISA Plus. Some of the domains or the course contents is practical. So these, you could also combine both of the two words, hands-on and the HR-oriented path. So that was my perspective. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comments.